A lot of people, when I picked the Cleveland Browns to win on Friday, and nobody else picked to win, people, Adam the Bull, Jason, Lloyd, you try to strip me of my medals, dog. I know it was heartfelt. I know you kind of was tongue in cheek looking around like, did he really pick him? Yeah, I picked him. I'm going to tell you why y'all don't understand what the Kool-Aid Mafia is. You don't understand what the correlation between the Kool-Aid Mafia is and the Cleveland Browns. And we'll break that down as to what that really means and why this victory was so special for fans, right? So we'll do that coming up all on this show. But first, let's get to our first topic. Let's get to our first topic really quickly. Now, you may say, G. Bush, is this all about the Kool-Aid Mafia? Nah, it's not that. When I came up with the Kool-Aid Mafia, I wanted to come up with something that was creative as well as it sold something that I'm really big on. I'm a big person on faith. And faith, for those who may not understand what the definition of faith is, it's just believing in something that is yet not evident. Believing in something that you don't technically see. Believing in something that you don't have any evidence of. Believing in something that you don't really quite have any proof or backup on it. You just feel it. You just know it. You just understand it. So a lot of my takes, I go on a lot of my takes on just faith. You know, I have to me, I have a keen ability to be like, yo, yeah, nobody saw the Cleveland Browns winning against the San Francisco 49ers. When you look on paper, there was nothing. When you look on paper, they got the best players. Your best players are out, and they got the next best 10 players. But you know what the thing about faith is? Faith is so hard to have. But once you tap into it, there's something that begins to build. There's something that begins to build inside the locker room. There's something that begins to build in the coaching staff. It's something that starts to bubble up in your fan base. And a lot of people don't believe in manifesting things. A lot of people don't visually see and manifest things into existence, right? Faith is one of those things when you have a couple of people gathered in a different area or a specific place with a specific mindset, with a specific task. Those guys can play better as a sum of the part rather than individuals. And so when you see what's going on with the Cleveland Browns, it's not just Jim Schwartz. It's just not Myles Garrett being dominant. It's not any of that, because the Browns on paper should not be able to compete with the San Francisco 49ers, especially when you don't have Nick Chubb, especially when you don't have Deshaun Watson. But a lot of times when I go into different places and I talk about sports, everything is built on X's and O's. Everything is built on stats. Everything is built on, well, I got to see it in the number, and that number correlates to how I deal and visualize the game. The hack is, the real life hack is that the real people, the successful people, always visualize success. That's why when people tell me it's a week-to-week league, and don't get all wrapped up in one victory, don't get all wrapped up and drink the Kool-Aid, don't get all wrapped up and jump off a ledge, don't get all wrapped. How do you live your life? Not celebrating your victories, but harping on your defeats. I don't understand that. I'm in an industry full of people that say they want the Cleveland Browns to win, that say that they live and die with what the Browns is doing, but yet don't pour that energy into the team. They don't pour that confidence into the squad. They don't hope, they don't strive for excellence. They don't strive and make it be a point of contention that, yes, if I beat the San Francisco 49ers this week and we went out there and we played with energy, effort, intensity, we went out there and knocked the hell out of the San Francisco 49ers, why would it be that I'm a Kool-Aid drinker if I expect them to go do the same thing against the Colts? I don't understand it. And I got into this game not understanding how that could be the standard. Is that good announcing? You tell me, put it in the comment section. Is this what it is to be a sportscaster? I conservatively play both sides of the road. I talk out to both sides of my neck and say, the Browns, they shouldn't win any games. That, you can't count that one by one. The Browns, we can't get too excited. Pump your brakes. It's only preseason. The other shoe is going to drop. But yet still, when we talk about the San Francisco 49ers, we count every one of their games. We count all of their statistics. We count every highlight and say they're the most dominant team we've ever seen. And I'm confused by that. The Kool-Aid Mafia isn't about Kool-Aid and who drank the Kool-Aid. The Kool-Aid Mafia is about faith. And that if a few people have enough faith, there is nothing you can do with them. See, that's a funny thing about faith. And you see how everybody on the defense is under one accord and playing with faith. When you play like that, that means you absolutely believe that Jim Schwartz don't care nothing about Kyle Shanahan. When you absolutely believe and understand that Myles Garrett can't be blocked, but you don't take that for granted. You say, I love Myles Garrett to death, but not only do I love Myles Garrett to death, I want to make that play Myles Garrett played. Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith is not waiting for Myles Garrett to make the play. Grant Delpit is not waiting for Zadarius Smith to make that play. Juan Thornhill is not waiting for Grant Delpit to make the play. Emerson is not ready. He's not waiting for Thornhill to make the play. Everybody out there is trying to make that play for themselves, but they playing inside a unit that absolutely believes that they're the best in the universe. There is nothing you can say to a person who has conviction about where they are. Because if you have conviction about something, your actions will line up against it. You can't say nothing to a person who has conviction. They already understand. They're delusional. And the great thing about delusion is if you're playing at a high level, when you're delusional and you're playing at a low level, it's a multiplier to that. It's a multiplier. That's why you have so many teams that one thing happens and it just parachutes. It just drops. It just multiplies. Oh, we fumbled. We're going to fumble again. Up, 3 and out. Now the defense don't want to play well. But you know what? When you are delusional and you playing well, look how things fall your way. Look how things fall your way. And I like the nature of it. I love it. The same way we had kickers that was missing field goals. Guess what, boys and girls? That pressure exists on every kicker. It's up to you to put the pressure on them. Embrace it. They missed that doggone field goal. Now you know how Cade York feel. That field goal started off and the wind blew it 3-4 yards to the right. If the Cleveland Browns embrace that instead of making excuses about it, you could turn a negative into a home field advantage. Negative into a home field advantage. And you can see how when the fans feed into them, that's why I'm a big person. When you go to the games, you got a responsibility. Not just to have entertainment. You are the 6th man. You are the 12th man. You are whatever the case may be in whatever sport you're talking about. Your job is to come in there and make life a living hell. Before I leave up out of here, I want to see the Browns get back to that dog pound. But one hand washes the other. In order for you to get a fan base that is fervent, that cheers, that never leaves, that always goes to the whistle, you got to have a team that puts that energy out and they'll give it back to you. See, it's a loop. It's a loop. It's synergy. It's somebody in oneness. That's what the Kool-Aid Mafia is about. That's what Kool-Aid drinking is about. It's about saying, I don't care who come up in here. I don't care if it's the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles. We got guys that we feel is just as good as them, if not better. Your history has nothing to do with your today. See, it's a lot of people out there that's sitting in 86, sitting in 1994. Oh, well, it's going to come back around. Some of these kids or these dudes playing, that don't matter to them. We're talking today, and it shows you how Jim Schwartz has transformed the defense because he's talking about today. What somebody did in a pair of pads 25 years ago don't got nothing to do with you. Let me just give you a personal example. I'm on UCSS. See, it's the difference between me and y'all. I'm on UCSS. I do the barbershop on the radio. I do Bleacher Report. I do a bunch of stuff. If all of those go away today, you know what? I'm comfortable going back to ground zero. I'm comfortable eating ramen noodles. I'm comfortable getting them canned goods out. See, a lot of y'all guys at the top, you've been eating steak too long. See, if it all goes away tomorrow, I'm right back onto this internet where I started from, talking into this microphone and didn't know if I ever get a shot. You can't tell me what I'm going to do. That's about drinking Kool-Aid. You can't stop my hustle. You may not like my takes. You can't stop my grind. You might not like my face, but you're going to see my face because every single time you turn this TV on, I'm going to be on here. My set going to look better. My clothes going to improve. I'm going to have glasses on someday. I'm going to be coordinated. I got gold chains on. You can't stop somebody that want it. You can't stop a man that want it. And that's what the Kool-Aid is about. And the Cleveland Browns is showing you, it don't matter what your history is, if you want it bad enough and you make it a point to say, I'm going to be here all day in your living room in your face and I'm going to make it uncomfortable. If you take it from me, you got it. But you got to take it from me. And it don't matter how much you talk about Brock Purdy or how much you talk about Shanahan or old Christian McCaffrey. And I know I'm going a little long-winded on the first part, but I just set something up. It don't matter. They showed you that if they play like that, and that's the best team in the world, the Cleveland Browns is a Super Bowl contender, and it don't even matter who at quarterback. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? If they play like that, and we didn't even have a perfect game, and we didn't even win a turnover battle, and on top of that, we gave them points. Y'all gonna come around. Y'all come around. All I need is a couple people. If you feel me, you know what it is. You already know what it is.